Would you let your kid drop out of high school? Now, 232 people voted in my poll recently. Came out 4 hours ago. Go check it out. Community tab. I have a whole bunch of polls on here for one, but for two, just check it out. 16% said yes, me being one of them. 84%, a big majority, said no. Now, a lot of people had some great comments, right? College, high school, some troll comments, whatever. But a lot of comments are usually good on my polls, which is great. Shout out to you guys. That's always checking the polls. You probably aren't even watching the videos. You probably just come check out the poll and leave, which is totally fine with me. But a lot of people said no, they wouldn't let their kid drop out, or they would let their kid drop out depending on this and that, or if they have a plan, this and that. So, me personally, I graduated high school, and I honestly feel like I would be, if not better, in the same position in life right now if I went to go get the GED, which is what I want to talk about. So a lot of people, they're like, "Oh, you only need high school." Not true. There's a GED, and the GED will get you everywhere. Why? Because it's called a high school equivalent. So a lot of companies, if they want you, they don't really care if you went to high school or if you got a GED. Now, let's not pretend a lot of people that graduate high school immediately go into an amazing job. They usually don't. They usually get stuck in something like fast food or retail that doesn't pay a lot, and they get treated really badly. Or they go to college, still end up having to go to these retail and fast food jobs, but on top of that, have to study and pretty much go in debt. Even if you get some type of what's it called? Um, but when they pay you to go to school, basically like scholarship, even when you get a scholarship, you could lose it. My brother, he had a scholarship, but he lost it due to academic probation and stuff like that. He's not feeling the whole college experience, so he's probably going to drop out, and that's fine. I honestly don't mind if he drops out at all. I just hope he has some type of plan ahead of him, which is the same thinking I would apply to you if you're thinking about dropping out, or my kid if my kid wants to drop out. If I have a kid one day, I don't know, but if you want to drop out, you definitely should give high school a try. I will say that. Give high school a try because you have no choice but to give it a try because you can't get a GED until you're 16. And when you're a freshman in high school, you're not 16. You're either 14 or 15. So when you turn 16, sophomore year, if you're thinking, maybe this high school stuff isn't for me, of course you got to ask your parents because it's all up to the parents at the end of the day. If they want you to go to high school, they're probably going to force you to go or they're going to kick you out on the street. But even if they kick you on the street, there's still places like Job Corps and stuff like that that'll take you under their wing. You're not just going to become homeless, but this is a big life decision, and life is hard. Life is not easy, and your parents are supposed to guard you and coddle you and handhold you, but a lot of times it doesn't work. Sometimes they just kick you out into the street, or sometimes they coddle you way too much, and you end up soft. And when you get out into the street, you crack under the pressure because you don't know how to deal with it. But let's go back and talk about the GED. So is GED same as high school? Yeah, it's a high school equivalent. But what is a GED exactly? You can read that on your own. Link in the description. But why is the GED important? Most post-secondary high school required applicants have a high school diploma or GED. So if you do want to go to college, you're 3 years younger than your high school counterparts. And so you could probably get in earlier. If you get in earlier, you're still young. You can still figure out life if you decide to drop out of college or whatnot. But definitely, if you want to drop out of high school, know what you want to be. And when I say know what you want to be, headstrong, like this is what I want to be. Nobody's going to stop me. If you're one of those people that are like, oh, I don't know, or you're like, I think I want to do this, and then you try for 2 years, and then you're like, it's too hard. I give up. I have a friend who constantly switches careers, and nothing wrong with switching careers. If you want to switch careers, that's totally fine. But if you're going to make a pretty big decision like dropping out of high school, I mean, you should probably be more focused on what you want to be, whether that's a basketball player, rapper, whatever. Be focused on it. Anyways, do employers care if I have a GED? Usually not, but this is a tricky one. Their school employers still discriminate between high school degrees and GEDs. But when it comes down to employers, a lot of people don't want to work in the normal work industry, which is not a surprise when it comes down to things like YouTube and any other app like TikTok and whatnot. Anyways, here's the ABC News. This was in 2019, but if anything, I think the percent has gone even higher.
I wanted to be an astronaut.
99% of Americans
anniversary of the moon landing. So 29% of Americans said YouTuber, 28% said teacher, 23% said pro athlete, astronaut got 11%.
Now, it's telling that a lot of kids don't want to be normal workers. They want to be TikTok influencers, Instagram influencers, YouTubers, and it's understandable. You see all the fun people have making videos, and then you see all the money that you could potentially make making videos as well. Now, not every YouTuber makes it big, not every TikToker makes it big, but not every person that graduate high school makes it big either. Not a lot of people that drop out of high school make it big either. A lot of people that go to college don't make it big, and a lot of people that go to college and they graduate, they don't make it big either. They go to college, they drop out, they don't make it big. It's all depends. It all depends. But me personally, my kid wants to drop out. There's two things he could do. Do YouTube, because I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't say I didn't start doing YouTube. I started doing YouTube at 15 years old, and I thought it would have worked, but it was either go work in a public job like IKEA or something like that while doing YouTube at the same time. And shout out to those people that do it because that is a hard grind, hard balance. Almost as hard as going to college and having a job. It's Well, yeah, yeah. One is you trying to be successful on the internet, and the other one is trying to survive so you can get a degree. So hopefully you can become successful in the world. But I definitely would say, son, you want to drop out of high school at 14? Not happening. You can drop out at 15 and get that GED, or you could drop out at 15 and go to the military. But the military usually also wants you to go to get a GED. That's what I did. I went to the military. Now, I didn't need a high school degree to go to the military. But I did it anyway because honestly, my last year of high school, I did it as I don't know what I want to be. I know I don't want to be in school again, but I know I also don't want to work a normal job. So I was doing YouTube, grinding my ass off. I was making hits, but I wasn't making revenue. Actually, I did start making revenue a little bit. I started making revenue a little bit, but then it was like the last 3 months of high school, and I was like, well, guess I'm going to the military. I'd rather do that, get my ass kicked, do some push-ups, and then get out the military and then see what happens. And it led me here to Asia. So if you want to join the military, I definitely think it's a great Kickstarter at life. It's not for everybody. And honestly, you should not listen to the recruiters. You should definitely do your own research when you go in there. Take the ASVAB. Here's the plan: go in there, take the ASVAB, look at your score, look at what job you can get. Think about the jobs you can get. Look online. There's a lot of military YouTubers. I used to be one of them. You can go on there and figure out what the job is really like and then see whether you want to do it. There's a lot of cush jobs like cybersecurity. When I say cush, you're sitting in a room full of AC and yeah, you're digging on the computer for like 5, 6 hours. I don't know, doing hacker stuff. I don't know. I don't know what they do in cybersecurity, but it's definitely a job whenever you go in. Say you go for cybersecurity, you pass AIT, you go ahead and join the military for like 2 years, you get out. Hey, I was in cybersecurity for the US military. Oh, well, any cybersecurity job might want you. I don't know how the cybersecurity field works, but that's just my assumption. If you had the job in the military when you get out, it should be easier for you to transition into the civilian world with the same job, if not better or a little bit worse when it comes down to like payment and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. I was in field artillery. I just shot cannons. Okay. I can't get no fucking job shooting cannons out in the real world. So don't get any combat job if you're just going to look at the military as a stepping stone, which it is for some. For some, it's the rest of their life. That's them. That's not me. But that's just one thing. A lot of people also want to be YouTubers, TikTokers, and influencers. But there's also a lot of famous people. I was looking up how old you are as a sophomore, so I know you could drop out. You could drop out at 16 and go get the GED at 16. But yeah, influential people and rich people that got a GED or they dropped out of high school. This is dropped out of high school. Okay, they don't have a GED, they just dropped out of high school. So Jay-Z, multi-billionaire, was rapper, now he's an entrepreneur. And then you got George Foreman. Okay, I totally forgot about this. This guy was a boxer. Okay, knocking people's heads off, getting his head knocked around a couple times, might have a loose screws in the head, maybe. I mean, boxing is very dangerous. But then he transitioned into selling grills, George Foreman grills. My mom has one. She's had it for like 10 years now, I think. So he went from boxing to selling grills and became multimillionaire, 137 million. But yeah, there's a lot of people out here that dropped out and they became successful, but that's not the norm. Just like graduating high school and becoming a millionaire, it's not the norm either. I can look at these people and say, wow, they dropped out of high school and they became successful. Why can't I? Or you could say, wow, these people graduated high school and they became successful. Why can't I? Wow, these people graduated college, became successful. Why can't I? These people are doing YouTube. They became successful. Why can't I? But I think it all just comes down to your mentality. Now, the question was, would you let your kid drop out of high school? For me, it's a yes. For you, you might be the 84% that says no. I personally believe in my kid. I think they can get a GED and they become successful. They don't need a high school degree. They don't need to sit in class and learn from a curriculum that just isn't as good as it used to be and is slowly just getting worse. It is true. I talked to my former high school teacher. Even she doesn't put her kids in normal school. She's just doing homeschooling because who can teach her better than her? I say her because she has daughters. Who can teach her kids better than her, right? Um, it's just honestly, it does come down to what you prefer and what you're comfortable with and what your kid would be comfortable with, right? This video is going to be you should drop out of high school. If you're in high school right now and you're thinking about dropping out, like I said, if you're going to do this, you got to have a strong plan. And I definitely don't think you should drop out a freshman year. You should drop out a sophomore year. Give it the whole college try. You should give it the old high school try. High school's free. So 1 year of high school, maybe two. Hey, junior year, you don't like it, talk to your parents about dropping out. They're going to ask, what do you want to do if you drop out? Because you're not going to just sleep on the couch. Figure it out what it want to be, whether you want to do the internet, which is going to be a lot crazier to your parents than if you said military. If you said military, your parents also might be against it because there's a lot of people against the military for good reasons and some bad reasons, but some good reasons, some valid reasons. But at the end of the day, life ain't easy. Okay, there is no blueprint to life. High school is not a blueprint, and neither is college. Oh, you go to high school and then you go to college and then you get your degree and then you find a nice woman, you get married, then you guys have kids, and then you die with your kids and your grandkids around you and you live happily ever after. You and your wife both die around the same time. That's not real. It's fairy tale, it's fiction. Some people end up living like that. Congratulations to them. They're the 1%. Okay. You think the billionaires are the 1%? No. Having your life, go to high school, go to college, find the woman of your dreams, get married, have kids, and die all together. You and your grandkids are talking to each other and you slowly die and they're holding your hand. They're like, no, grandpa, no. That's the 1%. That's crazy. I don't see that happening to me. I don't see that happening to a lot of people either. But life is crazy. Definitely think about it. If you're a high schooler, definitely think you should at least get 1 or 2 years in before you think about this and do it. Especially if you're going to do it. A lot of people think about doing stuff all the time and they don't do shit. So definitely think about it. And then whether or not you do it, it's up to you. Don't come over here like, I dropped out of high school because of Mystery Mr. R. Now I'm homeless. Hey, life is a gamble, and I'm all about my poker chips. Anyways, I don't know if I'm using that bar right, but it's from Lil Wayne. It's your boy Miss. Would you let your kid drop out of high school? I'm Mary Scribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.